this demo is going to go through the pass-by effect, which the pass-by effect is what you're seeing here on screen playing through on loop, where basically you have one shot and then you have it transition into another shot, and that is done through the use of some object or person or wall or something that comes into the shot that transitions us into. So that bulldozer is not really driving through the the auto dealer. The car doesn't really drive through in that first shot. That's actually in the second shot where the boy is juggling the soccer ball. So how do we do this? Well, number one thing is you got to plan a little bit. What I did, and I'll show you my clips, what I did was I did this clip. I believe this is the one where I basically had my daughter walk in front of the camera. Now we had a little trouble doing it at first, so but we did get it to work. So you can see here, I'm just going to trim this up a little bit and move it. So I had her walk in front of the camera. Now that particular shot right there I didn't like because she actually changed the focal point there. Actually, that may not be that bad, to be honest with you. So maybe I'll roll with this one. So we'll say we'll start it maybe here. We had a little bit of The Incredibles playing in the background, and then she walks past, all the way past me, boom, and that would be the end of that shot. So I'm going to option and then right bracket click. Again, this demo you would only be able to do, I think potentially you could do it in Premiere or any software that has keyframing, but for really After Effects is the best software to do this in. You know, Final Cut would work too, but you're going to need something more powerful than potentially like Premiere Rush. So for this one, we have her walking and then walking past. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to bring down my other clip, which is this one. Much shorter clip. And this clip is going to be the one that she transitions into, which is the shot of my son sitting on the TV, or sitting on the couch watching TV. So I'm going to then actually put him basically underneath this clip. And where do I want his clip to start? Well, pretty much when she starts walking is when I absolutely need it there, because that's when she's going to start exposing his clip. So I'm going to say, we'll say here, just to be on the safe side. Let's see if she's on there yet. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So now what we're going to do here is I'm going to go, I zoom out for this particular demo. Now what was important is that she did cross pass with the entire screen. Like she breaks the top and bottom. That's important. Otherwise you will have like a gap and you won't, you know, this just won't work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to back my playhead up here. And right when she comes on screen, that's where I'm going to start. Okay. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to make sure we're clicked on this layer, and I'm going to go, I'm going to get my pen tool. We're going to create a mask. So how I do this is I click and I just kind of create a mask around where she is. Now I'm going to extend this all the way over, and I'll kind of explain why. Okay, now you can see here that now it's basically doing what we don't want it to do. It's doing the opposite. So what I'm going to do is go into that particular layer, and I'm going to maybe title these layers. This would be Theo, like back. This is going to be Lena pass by. All right. So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to go into my masks. I'm going to go into mask 1. And I'm going to say invert it. Okay. So she is going to be there. And that's going to expose the next shot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start keyframing on my mask path. So I turn on my stopwatch. Okay. At that part, it's going to be there. Now, if I move back here, and I'm going to probably zoom in a little bit here because I'm getting kind of down and dirty into the software now, and I want to be making sure I'm seeing everything. So you can see here, I move my playhead backwards. You know, she may not be off screen, but we'll have to see. I can even move it back. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on my masks. And that's going to give me the ability to get my arrow. And then I can go, and you can see it's creating keyframes here for any change that I make to that mask path. So what I'm going to do now is, because I clicked on just the word masks, not mask 1, I can go and I can click on that point. I can move it back. You can see here she is off screen. So now between those 2 points, her mask moves on. Now I'm going to move forward a little bit, okay? And you can see right there, I moved a little bit, you know, further than probably I need to, but that's okay. And now I'm just going to do the same thing. I click back on masks. Why do I click on the word mask? Because then it gives me, it basically deselects control. Now I'm able to go and select points and move them where they need to go, and I can mess with the curvature, that Bezier curve there. And I'm going to move this in. Oops, that was a video that I'm exporting currently. All right. And we will blur this later, so this is not going to be, you know, there will pretty much be no mistakes. Okay, now I'm going to move forward a little bit more, and I'm going to push these forward further. Okay, now another thing you could do, and I'll show you this in this next shot, you don't need to move points. You can also move the entire thing. And how you do that is you would go to, let's see here, click mask path. Now I have complete control of the mask. You can see all 4 of those dots, those points are selected. So now if I click on the line, I can move this entire path forward versus moving each individual point. But you can see the issue in that might be that, you know, it may not be perfect. So now I'm going to go back to my mask. Now I've deselected, and I'm going to kind of push around here and see what, okay, that looks pretty good. All right, and I'm just going to keep going. All right, so now I'm going to move to this point and go back to the word mask, my general mask, and move this forward. And really, it's like whatever you need to do for yours, you gotta do. There's no like cheating the system here. You know, like you want it to look good, you gotta put the time in. All right, and then I'm gonna be a little bit more careful here towards the end because I'm almost there, and it's like, why mess it up? Okay, move my points forward, and again, you can see all my keyframes here are being recorded, so all those changes are going on. So I move that forward, I move this forward. All right, and now it's exposed that that whole thing, and then next part she's off screen, so I just moved that as well. Okay, now there's a couple different ways you can do this, but this to me is my favorite way. Okay, now that's pretty much the end of the shot, so I'm going to go here, and I'm actually going to trim these clips. So I'm going to go option right bracket, trim that. I'm going to click this one, option right bracket to trim that. And then I'm also going to move my work area end here, which should be, is it control right bracket? I don't use this software for a while. You forget stuff. Oh, it is N. There we go. The letter N. All right, so there we go. And actually, I'll move that in just a little bit. Okay, so now we can see this whole thing. So here's the clip. Okay, I'm just going to turn on the audio there. Here's the clip, and she's going to walk in, and then there's the transition. Now, it looks pretty good, but you can see the line a little bit, so we're going to do one more thing here. We're going to click on that layer, and we're going to create a little bit of a feather to that mask. So you can soften it up. You can see it blending a little bit better now. Okay, and now let's go ahead and watch it there. Okay, much better. You can almost not tell. I mean, there's a little bit of imperfection there. I could probably go back and like really get nitpicky and like, you know, go in and be very specific. And if I was a filmmaker, I would probably do that. You know, I'd go in and adjust these things, make them look right. So that, and then, you know, maybe the mask is a little bit too intense. Maybe I'll tone that down a little bit. And then, you know, another thing you could do is you can blur this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to enable blurring, which is enable my motion blur. And then I'm going to say, yes, I'm going to blur this particular one when it moves. So let's see what that looks like. You can see there. Now it's rendering, so it's taking a little bit longer. But already, even with it being in slow motion, it looks a lot better. And I'm also able to see like where are my issues, you know, where are the parts that maybe need fixed. Okay. So let's go ahead and play that part again. All right, very subtle, very quick, you know, but a lot of work went into those couple seconds. Whoa, right, and it just restarted there at the beginning. So here's my whole clip. Let's to render that out too. It'll go a little bit faster. All right. And again, you can go back in, you can adjust this and make this look perfect, and you will never know if you go in and really do the job that you can do on this. Like I could go in like right there, I can definitely tell that's probably an area I jumped a little bit too far. So I would go in definitely and, you know, move these points around, you know, move them in a little bit, tweak everything just ever so slightly to make it make it look better. So all right, and that is the Edggar Wright Passby effect.